My dear friends, here you are in Sagi's workshop, and today we're starting a new project. It's a new bike. See, this is the back struts, the seat supports, and I found that if I cut this in half, you see, it was connected here, and I just cut it. I cut it right here, and I can make two out of that one piece. So in total, this scrap bicycle has given me 3 supporting seat saddle supports. And here's a salvage from an old bicycle seat. This is what I'll use for shock absorption. See here how I sanded the metal? I'm gonna chop this in half, right down the middle. I'll curve it, attach it here, just weld it here. I think I'll use a stick welder, 6011, and I'll have it like at a little over 2 millimeters, so enough to penetrate. And then I'll just attach these springs to those little brackets. I think just to make sure that it's a solid and safe support, I'll give it like one of those 90-degree supporting brackets underneath the main bracket, if you knew what I mean, like at a 45-degree angle. This project I'm talking about. I know, what'd you do? You're blowing it big time. No big deal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm okay. Go. Oh, God. Well, my dear friends, listen. Seeing as how it happened, let's take advantage of this situation and see what damage has been done to this bike. Now, this is not the first time that this has happened. This is actually the second time I rear-ended this bike. But the first time I noticed that there was minimal damage to it, and here you are now, and you saw it happen. So listen, let's check it for damage. Let's take a look. What do you see? What do you see? What do I see? See this wood here acts as like a insulation, a buffer, a bumper, because ordinarily the gas tank would have been knocked off for sure, because it always sticks out, and it would have took the brunt of that hit. You saw that thing just boom, it just fell over sideways. But look, nary a scuff. I don't know what took the brunt. Maybe it was probably the exhaust and some of the wood, maybe. I don't know, but I think that it helps that the tank is not rigidly connected, that it has that it can pivot, turn a little bit without damaging the actual structure of the tank. But in any case, I'm glad that it worked out that way. So anyways, back to this the new build. I'm thinking about naming this the Stormtrooper because of how wide it is, and that I think it reminds me of a Stormtrooper. See these holes right here? I'm going to add a bolt to hold the seat in the front so that it can pivot up and down vertically. See, I'll put a spring in between this and the top bar, and then I'll put a spring under, and then cap it off with a bolt so that way it can pivot, and has give both ways, goes up and down, That way, when we add the support in the springs, it'll be able to, boop, boop, without breaking. It'll be able to pivot. See, I just add a spring here, push the bolt through, add another spring in the bottom, and then cap it off with the bolt. And I'm borrowing from the previous build, the tank. It just worked out that way. I'm a fan of it now. See, here's the springs. I have tons of these because everyone knows with these kits come these springs, and we don't always use all of them. So yeah, that's the idea. Here we are, and it's the next day. I came out here last night and I welded this up. I thought it'd be just a real quick job. See that gaping hole right there? I had it turned up a little too hot, and I burned through. And also on this side, obviously, I'm gonna have to fill in those holes and add some supporting brackets. I mean, I won't stop until I feel that 100% that it's a secure, because the supporting, it's supporting the seat, the back seat, and it's like a critical part of the bike. I mean, if it was to fail, it would be terrible. It would be one of the it can't fail. So to make sure that it won't fail, I'm going to even if it looks ugly, I'm gonna weld the heck out of it and give it support bracket, weld that onto, until I'm certain that it's that it will hold. Because there's a lot of bouncing, a lot of it takes a lot of punishment. It turned out being really the seat turned out being really, really demanding. But what do you guys think about this around the tank? Can you guess what that is? That is a skirt that goes around a car bumper. And I just had it, like, I found it in a yard sale. The guy wanted $1, so I was like, well, sure. I paid $1 for it. See these pieces here? They look good right here, don't they? I mean, that just worked out. I didn't plan that. I didn't measure that. But look at that. It almost looks like a headband with like a whoops. See, I'm on a roll with those dropping stuff and breaking stuff. Man. Yeah, so $1 at the for the skirt, and then these pieces here I ordered from Amazon. I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, and never used them because I haven't found a good spot to use them at. But I think they look good here. That reminds me of Japanese for some reason, like a headband with sideburns. But yeah, I think that the skirt, the bumper skirt, is going to be a good how would you say, like, in case in the future, in case it ever falls over, it'll help to buffer it, to protect it. And besides, it just looks really good. It just looks really good, It goes with the color scheme and everything. And I just added the bolt was a little bit long here that holds the seat. So I just added I drilled a hole in the skirt and I bolted it to that piece of bolt that it was too long. I was gonna cut that piece of bolt, but it just worked out better this way. See, when I went to go mount the engine, the bolts were a little too narrow. I mean, this happens every time. I'm sure you guys deal with it. But the way I did it this time was to put it into the vise, and I just cranked away until I felt I was gonna manage to get those bolts together, and it worked out pretty good. I just have to touch up the paint there, and the paint is just a white primer, but I went over it with I put it on fairly thick, and then I went over it with what do you call that? Lacquer, 2 coats of lacquer. Well, I think this video's got long enough. So, my dear friends, until next time, may God bless you. Take care.